This is a philosophical but controversial thought experiment, and I don't actually encourage anyone to try anything I bring up in this video. The tactic I propose for Germans in order to stop Angela Merkel's open-door policies on accepting Syrian refugees is non-violent, anonymous, and very effective. Can be used in different countries for different situations, but I apply it here to stopping the open door policies on accepting Syrian refugees and what the average German can do in order to stop it. The tactical solution is Germans should agree to, in large numbers, call in sick to work with the depression that they have acquired because of Angela Merkel's policies on accepting Syrian refugees. Too easy to be true? Well, think about it. If you call in sick to work, you cannot lose your job because it's illegal to fire someone that is sick or depressed. At the same time, if you don't want to contribute to these policies by paying taxes, you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to move to a different country. You don't have to engage in politics or run for office yourself. And since it is confidential, you will never be called a racist. And it's relatively easy. Theoretically, all you have to do is convince your therapist and then call in sick to work. You would have to convince your therapist that you want to help the Syrian refugees, which are displaced by the civil and proxy war in Syria, but you are witnessing Angela Merkel do the exact opposite when she accepts Syrian refugees, which is unhumanitarian and counterproductive, as I have described in my previous video. You don't want to contribute to this by working hard and paying taxes. Surely if you look through my video, look through the arguments and the logic, you will be convincing to a therapist. And once you call in sick, you will start getting money from the government or your insurance company without working hard and paying taxes like before. And you cannot get fired because it is illegal to fire someone for being depressed or sick. Importantly, you will make your opinion heard without getting involved in politics. You see, statisticians collect data from insurance companies and therapists that report to their hospitals, institutions. Finally, this reaches the higher echelons of the government. And if Angela Merkel one day gets a briefing that says that during the last month 10 million Germans have called in sick to work because they cannot in good health and conscience contribute with tax money to the policies that she is promoting, then maybe she will realize that she has been wrong when she has been saying that Germany can handle this, or wir schaffen das. I ask myself, why isn't this tactic used more often? Why wasn't it used as a way of protesting against the bombing of Libya or the war in Iraq? It is essentially a form of instant direct democracy that only works if you know your facts enough to convince a therapist that you're not lying. It is non-violent, it is anonymous, it is very similar to a collective strike, only that you don't actually have to gather or make posters for protesting. True, if only you do it, then nothing will change. But imagine you do it and you tell your friends to watch this video, and they all do it, and this thing spirals, is reported up to the higher echelons of government, then surely it will have an effect. If anything, it will be a huge economic burden in itself. Meanwhile, when you're on sick leave, you can study the arguments and the situation to find out what's really going on. You can take up yoga and meditation in order to fight your depression. This tactic is illegal, but only if you're actually lying about your depression. So ask yourself, aren't you depressed? Aren't you depressed to see year after year, decade after decade, the politicians that are out of touch with reality squander your hard-earned taxpayer money on expensive projects that are unhumanitarian and counterproductive, and then claiming that Germany, for instance, can handle this deluge of arrivals? That your political leaders have no solution to this problem and no solution to the actual core problem, which is the crisis going on in the Middle East with ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and Western bombing of Arab nations. Are you not depressed? If not, then you have not been watching my videos. Read on Wikipedia the conditions for your country. Germany seems to be very generous when it comes to sick leave, also Sweden. And indeed, the data is collected by statisticians, and we can see on that data in Germany that as the years go by, people get more and more prone to call in sick to work from mental health issues. And imagine now a huge spike in those mental health issues due to the Syrian refugee crisis and the way it's being handled. undoubtedly Merkel and the other politicians in Germany would be aware of this and could no longer deny that they actually cannot handle this. Let me know what you think.